The following is a presentation of the Matt Talk Podcast Network.
The mind of Pat Popolizio is a wondrous thing. And for you Pack Wrestling fans, you'll get to go inside the mind of the Skip each and every episode here on the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. Now, here's your host, NC State Director of Athletics Digital Communications, Brian Reinhardt.
A happy new year to all of our NC State wrestling fans out there. Welcome to the first episode of 2020 of the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. I'm back this year as your host, NC State Director of Athletics Digital Communications, Brian Reinhardt, and I'm joined by our head coach of the Wolfpack. It's Pat Popolizio.
Good to see you again, Brian. Missed you over the break a little bit, but I'm glad we get to finally catch up again.
I feel a little bad. I didn't spend 14-hour days down at the Scuffle with you, but I was there in spirit. I watched. We followed.
It's good. We missed you. The grind isn't for everybody.
I was going to say, hey,
You look refreshed, though, so that's all I needed out of you.
I had one day off. It was great.
Yep.
But, Pat, no guest this week. It's just you. You're really going to have to carry this episode, but our fans, they really love when you're on your own podcast. Your attendance, it's a little bit up and down. I'm not going to say anything too bad, but
numbers don't lie, Brian.
Have full confidence that you're back in that director's chair up at WB, bringing the energy. We're on our 59th episode of the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. So if you're ready, we got a lot to talk about here.
Let's hit it.
A lot of NC State wrestling action recently, and nothing but duels from here on out until we hit the postseason. So give us a little bit of coach speak. Tournaments, you guys get a lot of matches against teams you might not see, but duels really get the crowds into it. Nothing beats having all eyes set on that mat for a one-on-one match. From here on till March, nothing but duels every weekend for NC State. How much do you enjoy this switch in the schedule?
I think it's great. I think it's good for wrestling. I think hopefully at some point we switch over to duels to crown our national championship teams, because the team aspect, I think, attracts way more attendance than the tournament. It's hard to follow just for your common fan. But yeah, there's great wrestling in tournaments, and there's some great adversity you guys got to deal with. But at the end of the day, to continue to grow wrestling and fill arenas, we got to go to dual meets, and it's exciting to watch.
Would you go to 11 weight classes? People want 220 as a weight.
Yeah, I'm not against doing that. I think it could be. It would be interesting if we did do that 11 weights. It would high school. I mean, you can go back and forth. What weight would you have been?
Well, right now I'm
Not now. Back in your prime.
I could get down to the 150s.
49. You'd be a hell of a 49 pounder.
I didn't even lift back. I'm huge now. Huge. But, of course, in this exciting weekend here in Raleigh upcoming, your Wolfpack's going to host number 12 Princeton this Saturday at 1 p.m. And seems like forever since the Wolfpack wrestling was in Reynolds. That season opening duel against ODU was way back on November 15th. How excited are the guys to step back into their home gym?
They got to be. I mean, we've been on the road a lot. We've traveled. We've wrestled a ton. We've improved a lot. We've worked on a lot of different things. So I know these guys are excited to come into Reynolds and showcase their skills, and obviously against some really good competition. So it's going to be a really good, exciting dual meet and a great atmosphere.
People going to recognize you? I don't think you've shaved since then.
I'll shave. I'll trim back up. I did last week. What are you talking about? The Scuffle. I was clean.
I didn't see you at the Scuffle.
It
was nice. I had the day off from
Yeah.
But tickets are available at the door, so go ahead or secure your tickets now by visiting gopack.com/buy tickets. And more fun that night after the duel. Over in the Tally Student Union, Wolfpack Wrestling will hold its annual casino night. Of course, lots of games and fun, but great way to socialize with alums and coaches, and a lot of great prizes. Just this week, Nick Wisdowski was putting the finishing touches on some art that he's going to be giving away. Pat, how's attendance looking? How much do you guys look forward to hosting this event every year?
Yeah, Nick's got a great little prize that he's putting together, so he'll showcase his skills off the mat. I think that'll be a good product. But yeah, we got a lot of good items to raffle off. The attendance right now is pretty solid. I think we're close to, if not ahead of schedule from last year. And I know our alumni have been working extremely hard to continue to build this event up. But this is a really neat event to have. It's been growing each year more and more, but it's one that you can kind of bring some new people involved into wrestling that, might not come out to a dual meet, but then once they see what's going on, they jump on board, and it's just a good attendance. It's laid back. It's fun. And I like taking your chips too on the poker table. So it's even more enjoyable. I think we got 2 poker tables this year. I hope we did. Wow. Maybe we need 3.
Well, you realize I'm working that day. So, I mean,
not that night. You said day. You can't do double shift.
You can do 2 days. Love it. But, of course, the Wolfpack Wrestling Club supports the Wolfpack RTC, and our guys are gearing up for those Olympic trials and hopefully the next steps, Tokyo and the 2020 Olympics. And also over the recent break, the U.S. Senior Nationals took place down in Dallas, and more from the Wolfpack RTC punched their card to those Olympic trials. It's now up to 4 right now, with 1 more qualification tournament to go. But Nick Wisdowski, Mike Machiavello, they were all qualified. And based on their finishes now, Tommy Gant and Jacob Casper will be joining them up at Penn State at the Olympic trials. Great run by those 2 down in Dallas. What is next for those 4 as they get ready for March?
Yeah, we'll continue to train. Those guys are all helping each other. And then they'll hit a training camp out at Colorado Springs and possibly 1 more tournament overseas. I know Nick will be wrestling in a tournament or 2 alongside maybe with Mock, Tommy, and trying to get Casper in on it as well. So, yeah, those guys will continue to prepare and get ready, but it's sneaking up little by little, and it's different. When you're in college to when you're post-college, the layoff's a little longer. So, keeping crisp and staying sharp, that's critical for those guys, and that's why those training camps are extremely valuable for them.
Going to NC State after a few days off for the holidays, you guys regroup, headed down to Chattanooga for the annual Southern Scuffle. I didn't want to say anything, but you got a little soft. You flew this year. You didn't take that bus.
Yes, that is true.
I remember back in the day. I
don't know if it's soft, because I remember leaving the hotel at 3 a.m. to get to the airport on the way back, and then we practiced. So,
well, that's on you. You like to leave early.
Well, you want to prepare to get back, and plus it's a day of training now. Okay. So, soft while you were sleeping in.
But the Southern Scuffle, you guys finished 2nd place. That marked the highest Wolfpack finish at the event all time. 8 guys had podium finishes, led by Hayden Hidley winning 157. Trent Hidley took 2nd, and Daniel Bullard was 3rd. Speaking about the team's performances, how would you rate it?
I thought it was solid. Anytime you wrestle those tournaments and you don't win every weight class, it's obviously room to get better and grow. So I think we made a lot of progress in things we want to work on as a team and individuals. And when you're wrestling high level competition all the time, which I feel like we did this first semester, you're going to have some letdowns, and we also had some breakthroughs with some other guys' performance. But what we needed as a team, we felt like we left there and got all of that and then some. And most importantly, we left there healthy and preparing to make this push for the 2nd semester towards ACCs and NCAs.
Wanted you to give a few updates from that tournament. At 149, AJ Lighton, he racked up 3 really good wins before he had an injury default out in the quarterfinals. Pretty obvious what happened to him during that match. How's AJ doing this week?
Yeah, he's been, unfortunately he has to miss this weekend's competition, but we're lucky enough to have some depth at that weight where we got 2 valuable options. So Grippy will take the spot, but in the meantime, AJ's got to get everything cleared from the trainers and doctors, which we're thankful to have first-class people, on the road and can just make sure these guys are, not at risk. And I think we're just being cautious more than anything, which we need to be, and we'll be fine. Take a week off and get right back at it.
Also, both Nick Reenan and Tariq Wilson, they clinched podium finishes, but then they pulled out of the Scuffle. I'm assuming those were both precautionary and both are good to go?
Yeah. Reenan was planned. That was the Wrestle 1 match, day 2. That was planned weeks before, just to make sure we get back-to-back weigh-ins, get on the scale, wrestle an hour later, and we did that. So that was very good to see that go down like that. And then Tariq, yeah, we played that one match by match. He's obviously not wrestling his best right now. He knows it. We know it. We're working through some things off the mat that are nothing major. And I'm confident when he gets focused in on the things that he knows he's great at, he'll be hitting from all cylinders. The luxury is right now he's still having success and wrestling maybe at 70%. And when things start clicking for him, we know how dangerous and good he's going to be. So, yeah, we just want to be cautious with that. I think, if anything, we've learned last year that health is most important, and we left that tournament healthy, ready to go, and having all 10 guys right now that we want to start, if we need them to start, they can start.
Wanted to touch on a pair of true freshmen that are redshirting this season. Both made it to that second day down at the Scuffle. Kai Oreen down at 133 and Owen Treffin at heavyweight. Kai was fourth in his weight class, taking out a pair of seeded guys. How are those two developing during practice and during these open tournaments?
It's been great. I think you see Kai's progress, breakthrough tournament for him. Sometimes that's all you need is one really good tournament to let you know where you stand. I think you saw that from him. What I like about him is, he's been in and out of our practice room with some minor setbacks. So he hasn't really been able to train consistently up until this last couple weeks. And it's showing now when he's out there competing. So once we get him full-time training, he's going to be very dangerous. His style is very good for college wrestling. And yes, he's made some fast gains. So that's a guy that I'm going to be a very valuable option for us down the road if needed, and exciting to watch. Owen, you look at the people he has to train with here at NC State being in the upper weights. There's a reason why the progress is happening very fast, because he's around high level guys training with, and, he's studying and picking their brains. So he's able to make that progress fast. And it's hard, on any upper weight guy as a true freshman. It's challenging. You got some big athletic guys that he's competing against. So this is a great year for him to redshirt, get better, and put on some size and fine tune a couple things. But in that room every day, training with our college guys and RTC guys, he's gonna continue to improve rapidly.
Talk about in that room. I saw Mock down there today.
Yeah.
That dude's huge.
Mock is, the weight that he wants to go for the trials, he's putting on some good size, and he looked good.
Have you locked up with him lately?
Yeah, no problem. Okay. He knows the deal.
On to this weekend and on to Princeton. And first off, big promotion for that duel for those coming to Reynolds. I think you spearheaded this giveaway. I know you're going to line up for and be one of the first 300 fans Saturday for the Princeton duel. We'll receive free Bojangles.
Awesome. Wow.
Pat, I knew you'd like the sound of that. I see you about every day up at Western Boulevard in that drive-through lane. But my favorite promotion, it's still upcoming, mainly because it was my idea. That's why it's my favorite.
It's going to be a hit, I will say.
Biggest giveaway of the year, Virginia Tech duel. Not going to spoil it quite yet. But
that one will go fast.
It will go fast.
I'm going to steal one of them, too.
I was going to say.
There's going to be one less to give away.
We had to make sure today that someone would be in attendance for that one.
Yeah.
But we got that all squared away. But Pat, the Princeton duel, it's over 40 years in the making. NC State and Princeton, they have not faced off in a duel for over 40 years, in 1978 to be exact.
Wow.
And I think you were in high school back then, so I'm sure you watched that 1978 duel.
Yes, definitely.
But how did this duel come together?
Yeah, I think, first of all, Princeton's program's obviously doing really well, and they've made some short, fast gains, and that's a credit to their coaching staff, and their alumni are backing it, and, it's a program that wants to win, and that's why we wanted to get them on our schedule. They were down here wrestling some other competition, and it works out well. Sometimes, we can piggyback 2 duels off that when teams come down here, and anytime you can wrestle a high-level competition, we wanted to see that, and it worked out just scheduling-wise, and there's going to be some really good key matchups across the board for both teams.
Home and home for next year, or just a one-off?
Yeah, if it works in our schedule. We didn't originally sign up for that, but I'm not against doing that. If it plays into next year, it could be a no-brainer to continue to do this.
Who doesn't love to get to New Jersey in the winter?
Definitely. New York, too.
New York.
Upstate.
I don't know.
Don't be knocking upstate New York. That's half our roster.
Believe me, I'm well aware of that. But so ACC duels, they start in a couple of weeks. How important was it for you to bring such a highly ranked team like number 12 Princeton down here?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is to get the best teams in the country on our schedule, and especially at home, and it worked out very well for us because we didn't have a ton of home dates this year, and they stepped up. And actually is playing out to be a really good duel and with high level competition. So this is going to be a great atmosphere, and we're going to need a rowdy crowd in there to make a statement.
NC State is 23-8 against ranked foes over the last 5 seasons, looking to increase that win total this weekend. The Tigers feature 3 guys ranked in the top 5 of their weight classes. 2 are ranked number 3. Now they're going to be over at that other school that you wouldn't name Friday night, and then they're heading over to Reynolds on Saturday for a 1:00 duel. And great matchups. NC State has 6 guys ranked, 4 in the top 10. Princeton, and this Princeton duel is going to feature a pair of top 10 matches at 157. Hayden will face number 5, Quincy, Monday. And Hayden was just named the ACC Wrestler of the Week for the 3rd time this season. He has 3 top 10 wins so far. And Monday's a familiar name. His brother's over at UNC, and his dad was a former Olympic gold medalist. And he has 6 top 10 wins, including 3 in duels. And that is going to be one heck of a matchup right there.
Yeah, you're going to see some fireworks in that match, and that's what you want. You want 2 really good guys putting it on the line and wrestling, and it's good. Both guys have seen some really good competition, and it's a match that I know Hayden rises to the occasion for high level competition and looks forward to those kind of challenges. So we're excited to see that one play out, and it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of points probably put on the board there.
Up at 197, another top 10 battle. Renan's at number 8 this week. Princeton has number 3. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. But, Renan's just back, but he's got 5 matches under his belt. By far the biggest test that he's going to have so far this season.
Definitely. Another good quality kid that's shown, good success early in his career. And it'll be a great test for Renan, coming back and finally getting some matches under his belt, his weight's in check, his confidence, not just wrestling, but in himself as far as being able to compete has risen. And he's had a really good last week of training between the tournament and what we've done the last several days. I like where we're at. And we'll continue to improve and get better for these kind of level of competition. But yeah, this is one. I like it because it makes, anytime you wrestle in high level competition, it makes guys really focus in on practice that week. And that's something we've seen. Renan knows he's got to have a good week, and his training's fallen into play because of that.
Those are just the 2 of the best ranked matchups in that duel, but some great competition. Wolfpack fans, let's pack Reynolds Coliseum red this Saturday as NC State will host Princeton on Saturday at 1:00. Tickets can be bought at the door, or you can reserve one of those big leather seats now by visiting gopack.com/buy tickets. Pat, looking forward to a great duel on Saturday in front of a huge, rowdy crowd.
Yeah, I'm thinking back. When was the last time we've wrestled on a Saturday afternoon? I know we've done Friday and Sunday duels, Mr. Stat Guy. Maybe you can pull that up.
I don't know that. I go where you tell me to.
Well,
Cornell.
Finally stumped you a little bit. At home.
See?
Finally stumped you a little bit here. Good. All right.
But,
you want to throw movie lines at me? Well, I'm throwing wrestling.
I was gonna do something. But Wolfpack fans, let's pack Reynolds. We haven't seen this team at home for a while. Come support the program. And I want to thank everybody for listening today. This is your Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast covering all things NC State wrestling. Until next time, Wolfpack fans, go Pack.
The Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast is produced by the Mat Talk Podcast Network. For more wrestling podcasts, go to MatTalkOnline.com.